Join me as I dive into the dark side of history and try to uncover 10 brutal ancient deaths you probably never knew existed. These methods, designed to maximize suffering, reflect the brutality of ancient justice systems and the lengths to which societies would go to enforce their laws and punish enemies. Here are 10 of the worst ways to die in ancient times, notorious for their cruelty, brutality, and sheer horror.
1. Scaphism, Persian Empire. One of the most grotesque methods of execution, scaphism, involved trapping the victim between two hollowed-out logs, leaving the head, hands, and feet exposed. The victim was force-fed milk and honey, which led to severe diarrhea. They were then left in the wilderness, where insects were attracted to their waste, eventually devouring the victim alive. 2. Crucifixion, Ancient Rome. A slow, agonizing death by crucifixion was reserved for the most severe criminals and rebels. The victim was nailed or tied to a cross and left to hang, often for days, dying slowly from exhaustion, suffocation, or dehydration. This form of execution was notoriously used on Jesus Christ and thousands of others. 3. Brazen Bull, Ancient Greece. Invented by the Greeks, the brazen bull was a hollow bronze statue in the shape of a bull. Victims were locked inside, and a fire was lit beneath the bull, slowly roasting them alive. As they screamed in pain, their cries would echo through the bull's tubes, making it sound like the animal was bellowing. 4. Flaying, various cultures. Flaying was the process of skinning a person alive, either partially or fully. The victim would often die from shock or infection, and it was used as both torture and execution in various cultures, including Assyria and medieval Europe. 5. Impalement, Vlad the Impaler, Ancient Persia. This gruesome execution involved forcing a sharp stake through the victim's body, often starting from the rectum or lower abdomen. The stake would be gradually pushed through until it emerged from the mouth, throat, or chest. The victim could remain alive for hours or even days, slowly sliding down the pole due to gravity. 6. Sawing, Persian and Roman empires. In this horrific method, victims were sawn in half either horizontally or vertically. Some versions saw the victim hung upside down, allowing blood to flow to the head, keeping them conscious longer while being cut in half, often starting from the groin and moving upwards. 7. Lingqi, Ancient China. Also known as death by 1,000 cuts, lingqi was a form of execution used in China. It involved slowly slicing the victim's body piece by piece, prolonging their suffering before death. Lingqi was intended to be both a physical and spiritual punishment, as the body's mutilation was believed to harm the victim's soul. 8. Keel hauling, Ancient Maritime Punishment. Primarily used by pirates and navies, keel hauling involved dragging a person under the ship's hull, often covered in barnacles. The victim would suffer lacerations from the sharp barnacles, risk drowning, and could be pulled repeatedly through the water until they died. Tarantism, Middle Ages. While not directly an execution method, death by tarantism was a slow, terrifying process caused by the bite of the tarantula wolf spider. It led to a condition that caused convulsions, fever, hallucinations, and eventually death if left untreated. Ancient Europeans believed the only cure was to engage in frenzied dancing. 10. Burning at the stake, Medieval Europe, Ancient Rome. Commonly used for heretics and witches, burning at the stake was an excruciating death. Victims were tied to a post, surrounded by wood, and burned alive. The heat would cause intense pain as the skin charred, muscles contracted, and organs shut down from the extreme temperature.